Namaskar. Welcome to this session. We are dealing with the Pranayama of Ashtanga Yoga. And as we have proceeded in last couple of sessions to consider the various types of pranayamas, and therein we came to chakra pranayam, Shatchakra pranayam. Now this makes it now clear that the Shvasayam falls far behind pranayam when it comes to these aspects. Shvasayam cannot at all work in this realm. Shvasayam cannot work in the domain of the Vasanas. And we just now considered the Vasana structure, which is by Mooladhara Vasana Samskar, Swadhisthana Vasana Samskar, Manipuraka Vasana Samskar, Anahata Vasana Samskar, Vishuddhi Vasana Samskar, and Agnya Vasana Samskar. So, Shvasayam has no entry at all in this realm or in this domain, while Pranayam gets that entry. Not only entry, it becomes the agent. Pranayam is the agency to be working on these esoteric aspects of human psyche consciousness. And now we clearly understand the limitation of Shvasayam as compared to the potentials of pranayam, power of pranayam, functionality of pranayam. So here now we are able to see clear distinction between Shvasayam and pranayam. So Shvasayam although Shvasayam is integral part of pranayam, but exclusive Shvasayam, it only works on our cosmetic aspects, surface aspects, peripheral aspects, while the pranayam has a deeper entry. So last time we had brief understanding of Shatchakra pranayam. Now today we are going to understand Panchtattva pranayam. Panchtattvas are Prithivya, Tejo, Vayu, Akash. They are Panchamahabhutas, they are Panchadevatas, they are Panchtattvas. We all know that the body is Panchbhautic. Even the common man is aware of this, that our physical body is Panchbhautic. And common man thinks that the Panchabhutas are only structural matter for physical body, fails to understand that the Panchtattvas are also structural matters for mind matter, mind structure. So the body is not merely Panchabhautic, and we in the realm of philosophy understand that it is Panchikaranam, Panchikrita body. But Manas, Chitta, Ahamkara, Antakaranam, they are also under the influence of Panchtattvas. But then commonly we are not aware of it. But yet in common man's language we find these metaphysical ideas creeping in. Because we have expressions such as the mind has become stone. Or sometimes we say, I'm going to break a very bad news. Please make your mind a stone. What is this stone? It stands for element of earth. Or sometimes we say the mind has melted. When the mind is shattered, devastated, we say that the mind has become like water. In vernacular language, there's very clear expression with regards to mind becoming stone, making stone of mind. Mind is stony, mind has become stone mind. Mind should be like diamond, mind should be like stone, or mind has become like stone. So such expressions are there in vernacular language. So also the mind has become very watery, fragile. That is element of water. Or sometimes we say the mind is burning. There is fire in the mind. Mind became like fire. Mind becoming fire. So this is reference to element of fire. Then also the mind is encountering tempest. There is hurricane in mind. There is vortex in mind. So in such expressions we identify the Vayu tattva in the mind. Or sometimes it is also said that if somebody's ego is smashed, devastated, in disarray, there is a vernacular expression to say that the Ahamkara has lost all air. Or you pump in air in Ahamkara. If somebody is in a very depleted condition of self-esteem, then in vernacular languages there is expression to the effect that fill in air in the identity of a person. Or air has gone from identity of a person. So that is Vayu. Then again Akasha. The mind has become clear, like clear sky, cloudless sky. Nirabhra Akasha. Mind has become vast, magnanimous, like Akasha. Mind has become Vishal. Mind has become magnanimous. Mind has become infinite. Mind has reached infinitude. Mind has become Ananta. And I recall here one of the well-known Marathi saint, Tukaram Maharaj, where he says, Tuka zhala akasha evadha. So he himself says that I have become like space. In peak condition of sublimation and magnanimity, Tukaram himself says that I have become as much as large as big as Akasha. The point is, I am trying to mention that even common man is aware of the 5 elements relative to mind. Mind burns, mind flutters, mind freezes, then mind melts, and mind becomes magnanimous, mind becomes boundless. So we try to relate our own mind with 5 elements. It is because the metaphysics does say that there are 5 elements are constituting aspects of mind. Although mind is not said to be bhautika, sharir is bhautika, but even in the chitta and mind there is quite an amount of influence of 5 elements. So in evolving the mind, according to the Adhyatma, Paramartha and Yoga Shastra, the mind is reformed in its Parthiva constituents, Jaliya constituents, Agneya constituents, and Vayaviya constituents, and Aniliya constituents. Parthiva means Prithvi. It has reference to Prithvi. Jaliya means reference to element of water. Agneya means reference to element of fire. Vayaviya means reference to element of air. And Aniliya means reference to Akasha. So, in yoga technology, the Panchtattva kriyas with regards to mind play a very prominent role in evolving the mind, consciousness, psyche. There is some management, Chaitik management carried out, mind management carried out with the help of Panchtattvas. By managing Panchtattvas, the mind matter, mind stuff, the Chitta is also set right. And there are kriyas in asana and pranayam for Chaitik reformation, for mental reformation, for mind stuff reformation based on Panchatattva kriyas. So in the technology of yoga, there is definitely Panchatattva kriyas, not only for body matter but also for mind matter. So we are now going to consider the Panchikruta aspect, the quintuplicated aspects behind mind structuring. And we can imagine that in the body structuring, but we need to now pay special attention to mind structuring, Chaitik structuring. Now these 5 elements, how are they processed? I know they are processed with an interactive culture. So this is an interesting point to note. See, anything that is made up of element of earth or quintuplicated earthen material, if you add water into it, it changes. If you remove the water from quintuplicated earth, it can change. So Prithvi plus water, the Prithvi, the manifestation, which might be primarily Parthiva, primarily earthen, will change in its form. So Prithvi plus Jala and Prithvi minus Jala will certainly transform. So, see how element of water or water can work on manifestation which is other. So we know the sand, materials such as sand. If we mix water, it becomes clay, then it can take shape. Or if you remove water from clay by roasting it, burning it with a fire, if you remove any water, then it becomes a hard material. So point is, we have to understand Prithvi plus water, Prithvi minus water, there is certainly change in the Prithvi matter. Vayu plus water, Vayu minus water, there is change. Like we say, the weather is dry and the climate is humid. There is humidity. So we know the difference between dry weather and humid weather. Dry climatic condition and damp or humid climatic condition. Say temperature such as 30 degrees, 35 degrees. So it is one kind of weather when it is dry, 30 degrees. Another kind of thing when it is 99% humidity and 30 degrees. So 30 degrees differ between a humidity percentage ranging between 90-95 on one hand and then ranging between 60-65 on the other hand. So we can notice the change. Temperature is same but the climate is different. Dry weather, humid weather, dry climate, humid climate. So temperatures do make difference because of humidity close to 90-95 degrees on one hand and humidity close to 40-45 degrees on the other hand, or even less. So Vayu plus water and Vayu minus water is also a different form of the same material. Vayu material, gaseous material. Then Prithvi plus Akash and Prithvi minus Akash. If you remove the spatial element from element of earth or manifestation of element of earth, it becomes more solid. If you add element of space in solid matter, then that element of earth manifestation becomes more rarefied. So also element of fire and element of water. If there is element of water and you remove the fire from it, you remove the temperature from it, it goes towards freezing condition, frozen condition. Water freezes. When the temperature is removed from the water, if you deduct the temperature from water, water will ultimately go to freezing point and the water will freeze. If you add fire in water, if you go on adding fire in water, if you raise the temperature of water, it can reach boiling point and it will start boiling. So boiling water is one manifestation, frozen water is diametrically another manifestation. Boiling water will burn you and the freezing water, frozen water will give you very, very cold sensation. So from element of water you can add Agni to take it to boiling point, and you can remove Agni to take it to freezing point. So Aap plus Agni, Aap minus Agni changes the manifestation. Then water plus earth and water minus earth. So from element of water, if you remove the Prithvi element, the water will evaporate. Water will evaporate. And if you add Prithvi into water, it will become ice. So you can get water in solid form and water in gaseous form. Although water is said to be liquid form, water can be changed to solid form and vapor form. Why that is done with the element of Prithvi, deduction and addition. So element of water plus Vayu, element of water minus Vayu also changes the manifestation. So these 5 elements can interact within each other. Prithvi added water, lessened water. Prithvi added fire, lessened fire. Prithvi added Akasha, lessened Akasha. So that's how we can see that the manifestations can change. And today the scientific mind of mankind can understand all those things very easily. And we can experience all these things and experiment with all these things in our kitchen, in the domestic domain, and in laboratory, in scientific domain. So there are instruments in the laboratory given for Agni Vardhanam, Agni Sankocha. You can infuse temperature in a matter, and you can remove temperature from matter, and you can see how the manifestations change. That's why in the house we have oven, we have the induction tool, we have burners, we have heaters on one hand, and then we have air conditioners on the other hand, coolers on the other hand, refrigerators on the other hand. And then that means we are regulating the fire. And then we can see how much manifestations can change. Water kept on burner, what will happen? Water kept on in induction, what will happen? Water kept in the freezer chest of refrigerator, what will happen? So today we are aware of handling these elements, particularly the fire element in our kitchens. And it is interestingly, in yoga technology we have something that is called as Agnisara Kriya. So there can be Agnisara Kriya in and for element of earth, element of water, element of air, element of space. And that's why in yoga we have a kriya called Agnisara Kriya. Agni is fire and Sara means essence. So essence of fire is part of yoga technology to be used on manifestations of element of earth quintuplicated, element of water quintuplicated, element of air quintuplicated, element of space quintuplicated. So element of fire is used in yoga technology on metaphysical plane, not on physical plane. We don't increase the temperatures of the body in yoga technology, taking it to 98.5 plus Fahrenheit and then 98.5 minus something in Fahrenheit. That will be a fever disease condition. So we don't work with temperatures, but we work with essence of fire in yoga. That's why it is called very aptly Agnisara Kriya. Sara means essence. Agni means fire. So we use the essence of fire and work on our body mind matters and process them. And that's how even consciousness is processed. Chitta is processed. Mind stuff is processed by Agnisara Kriya. By using Agnisara of Prithvi Tattva, Agnisara of Ap Tattva, Agnisara of Agni Tattva, Agnisara of Vayu Tattva, Agnisara of Akasha Tattva. And we have considered this while considering Yogasanas and the Ashtanga Kriyas. Therein we considered Agnisara Kriya, something that is called Kapalbhati Kriya and Uddiyana Kriya, which really works on matter of our consciousness. So by Prithvi Kriya, we can manipulate the Kathinyam, solidity. Because sometimes we want our mind to be solid and sometimes solid mind is painful. We cannot be doing delicate, tender acts when the mind is solid, rock solid. So somewhere we want rock solid mind to face a situation in life, and we don't want rock solid mind to face certain situations in life. So the solidity can be lessened and increased. We need to increase the solidity and lessen the solidity in our life conditions. So the element of earth and mind stuff, we need to have a regulator. Otherwise our life will be miserable and the life will not be successful. If you have regulator for Kathinyam to be manipulated on plus side and minus side, if we don't have that facility, then it is difficult to face the conditions in life. So, in Pranayam, with reference to Pranayams, understand inhalation of Agni Kriya, Agni Tattva, and exhalation of Agni Tattva, how it would handle. Inhalation means it would do additions, and exhalation means it would do deductions. So inhalation means plus, 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 plus in element of fire. And exhalatively means minus, 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 minus in element of fire. So we are in the breathing system, we have these inhalations where we can give additions to Prithvi, Ap, Tej, Vayu, Akash by inhalative process, and we can give deduction to 5 elements by exhalative process. And of course the Uddiyana is there in the third aspect of breath, which is called retention. No retention is yoga is without Uddiyana. Be that outer retention or inner retention, post-exhalative or post-inhalative, the Uddiyana is mandatory. So see how we can work on Prithvi Tattva with Purana Kriya, Rechana Kriya, Stambhana Kriya. How we can work on element of water with Purana Kriya, Rechana Kriya, Stambhana Kriya. How we can work on Agni Tattva with Purana Kriya, Rechana Kriya, Stambhana Kriya. So also Vayu Tattva with Purana Kriya, Rechana Kriya, Stambhana Kriya. And Akasha Tattva with Purana Kriya, Rechana Kriya, Stambhana Kriya. And Stambhana Kriya is two types, Bahya Stambhanam, Anta Stambhanam. The post-inhalative retention and post-exhalative retention. So, to explain the mathematical process here, inhalation does plus, 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 plus. Exhalation does minus, 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 minus. Inhalative retention, post-inhalative retention does multiplication. And post-exhalative retention does division. Division quickly brings the numbers down. Additions add to numbers. Deductions lessen the numbers. Multiplication with a quantum leap adds to number. Like 2 plus 100 is 102. But 100 into 2 or 2 into 100, it becomes 200. So see the quantum leap between 102 and 200. Addition of 100 plus 2 will be only 102. But multiplication of 100 by 2 would make 200. 100 minus 2 will be only 98. But 100 divided by 2 would become 50. See the grand reduction. So we know in basic arithmetic plus, minus, into, divided by. So Purana Kriya is plus, 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 plus. Rechana Kriya is minus, 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 minus. Internal retention is multiplication. Like we saw the example of 50, 100 into 2. Multiplication. And post-exhalative retention would make division. 100 divided by 2, there would be a grand reduction of 50. 100 minus 2 is only 98, but 100 minus 100 divided by 2 comes down to 50. So that is why the pranayam has its mathematics when it comes to inhalative, post-inhalative retention, exhalative, post-exhalative retention. Inhalative process is plus, 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 plus. Post-inhalative retention is multiplication. And then exhalation is deduction. And post-exhalative retention is division. So that's how these elements can be handled by plus, minus, multiplication and divisions. So for we worldly people, our Prithvi is mismanaged in not only body but even in the mind. So where the mind should not be rock solid, it becomes rock solid. Where the mind should be soft like butter, it doesn't become soft like butter. So is the case of Up Tattva, element of water. It is also mismanaged. And therefore we have dry mind where it is not needed, where it is painful to have a dry mind. Mind becomes dry, mind is dry. Where we want damp mind, we don't have damp mind. So we require somewhere dampness and somewhere dryness in the mind. But mismanaged element of water in the mind deprives us of any management. So also Agni. When it is mismanaged, it becomes, there is inferno condition in the mind. It becomes irksome, explosive, volcanic, and then we face the negative consequences in life. Or sometimes it is, mind is unduly out of place cold. Where it should be really hot, it becomes cold. Where it should be cold, it becomes hot. This is mismanaged life or mismanaged mind in life. So also Vayu. Where we want mind to be mercurial, it is not. Where we don't want mind to be mercurial, it is indeed mercurial. Then it is like wind, which is directionless. This is signature condition of the wind, which doesn't have direction. And that's why the lunacy is referred to human mind, which doesn't have direction. So the point is, we can identify the importance of setting right 5 elements in the mind, because there is indeed influence of 5 elements on the mind. And the elements can play a positive role as well as a negative role. Devastating role on one hand to complementary role on the other hand. So Vighataka, Vidhayaka. So they can work in a Vidhayak way, constructive way, or they can work in destructive way. When managed, it is constructive. When not managed, then it is destructive. So with respect to mind, watch certain figurative expressions, the predicates that we want in our mind, such as clean mind, transparent mind, spotless mind. Then soft and tenderness of the mind, solidity of mind, steadiness in the mind, friendliness in the mind, affinity in the mind, love in the mind, and warmth in the mind. So try to relate these various predicates which we want in a good mind, and try to understand reference to elements, 5 elements. Similarly, we don't want the mind to be in particular conditions. That mind is considered to be a baneful mind, destructive mind, bad mind. We don't want to have such mind in us. You will again see that there is reference to mismanaged 5 elements, while in predicates in the mind, if they are there sumptuously, then there is well managed elements in the mind. The point is, the mind requires elemental management. Prithvi, Tej, Vayu, Akash. So asana pranayam, they have technology to handle Panchtattvas even in the mind matter. Not only in the body matter, but also in mind matter. I recall one of the incarnations of Shri Vishnu, Mahavishnu, called Dattatreya, which is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Dattatreya had 24 gurus. And with reference to Tattva Kriya of Yoga, he had identified gurus in 5 elements. There is something that we should beseech the 5 elements for grace. The Prithvi should grace us, Ap should grace us, Tej should grace us, Vayu should grace us, Akash should grace us. There is something that will enrich our life by their grace. And there is something which will spoil our life by the elements being maleficious. So Dattatreya kept Panchtattvas at Guru Sthana, in Guru Sthana. He made Panchtattvas as Guru. And then the mysterious saints describe this beautifully. They say Prithvi Mata, Mother Earth, is magnanimous than biological mother. And then they say that sometimes a mother might abandon a child because it is extremely problematic and troublesome. But Mother Earth doesn't do that. Everyone can stand on the earth, everyone can sit on the earth, everyone can take support of the earth. Whether you are brute or saint, the Mother Earth doesn't discriminate. Whereas biological mother might discriminate between a good child and bad child. So the magnanimity of the earth is also praiseworthy. What you sow as seeds is something not good in form and color, not good in taste. No seed, if you bite it, will not be anything other than a bad taste, bitter taste, etc. It has neither good form nor good taste. But if you sow it in the ground, it will give you golden harvest. So what we give to earth and what it gives back to us. Like in farming, they sow the seeds which might be a few hundreds of rupees, but what we harvest is some hundreds of thousands of rupees worth. That is what the earth gives. That's the magnanimity of the earth. So its tolerance, its magnanimity, it's all praiseworthy. And that's why Prithvi Mata, Bhumi Mata, is the expression in religious consciousness. Bhumata. She is more than a mother. She is not only a mother, more than a mother. One may lose mother, one may lose biological mother, but one will never lose this mother, Bhumata. So one of the mystic poets has described it. Similarly, then therefore we can understand there are Prithvi Pranayamas. To reap this harvest from Prithvi, avail of this magnanimity of the Prithvi, graciousness of the Prithvi, the love and affection of Prithvi. Bhumata is more loving than biological mother. And therefore there are pranayamas of Prithvi Tattva. Similarly, now we are going to take account of Ap Tattva, Teja Tattva, Vayu Tattva, Akasha Tattva, because of which the Tatreya made them Guru. Each one of the 5 elements, he made them Guru. He learned those things from them. He learned the greatness of 5 elements. And that's why they are Panchadevatas. They are deities, they are equal to deities, they are worship worthy. Anyway, today we just had a little taste of Prithvi as Devata, Prithvi as Mother. Now we'll have to proceed to understand this with regards to other elements. But let us take that up in our next session. So enough for the time being. Namaskar all of you.